What's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation expert, money mindset and fulfillment coach, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur. Come sit with me while I spill the real tea on what it's like to practice using intentional manifestation, demystify all of the woo-woo and confusing bullshit that comes along with creating the life of your dreams, and give you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, spiritual, and professional growth journey. The goal of this podcast is to support and guide you towards manifesting all of your dreams, shed light on the things that people are too scared to talk about, and encourage you to become the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. I am so happy you are here. Let's fucking do this thing. What's up, loves? Welcome back to another episode of the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. Today, we are talking about my favorite thing to talk about, which is money, as you all probably know at this point. And I want to talk about the real secret to money manifestation that there is a ton of misconception on out there on the internet in terms of all of these different manifestation resources. And I wanted to give you a really clear picture of what this is and how you can approach this in your life so that you are manifesting more and more money into your life without feeling as though it's really fucking challenging to do. And without feeling as though you are the one and only person who doesn't understand how to make it happen, because I know that there's so many success stories out there on the internet, and that was something that I felt really challenged by when I first started my manifestation journey. Was like, fuck, other people are making it happen, like why can't I? And this is what I have learned with money manifestation since starting my intentional manifestation journey, and it has absolutely changed the game for me when it comes to money manifestation. So there is a huge misconception with money manifestation, or with manifestation as a whole, that you are manifesting that thing thinking that it is going to make you feel a certain way, and therefore that's the reason that you're wanting to manifest it in the first place. So what I mean by this is, like, oftentimes we tell ourselves the story of like, when I have the money, then I'll feel secure. When I lose the weight, then I'll feel confident. When I have the boyfriend, then I'll feel loved. When I have the job, then I'll feel successful. Whatever the story is. So essentially what it is like us placing our happiness, our emotions, our fulfillment externally from ourselves and saying, when I receive this thing, then I'm going to feel this way. And what manifestation requires you to do is actually flip that around and be in the position of, I'm going to feel this way. I'm going to feel safe. I'm going to feel secure. I'm going to feel happy. I'm going to feel fulfilled. I'm going to feel successful. I'm going to feel loved, etc. And then the manifestation will show up as a byproduct of that. And what I want you to think about with this is that you wouldn't give a shit about the external manifestation if it wasn't for that emotional attachment to it in the first place. If money wasn't going to make you feel safe and secure and free and have the ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it, then you wouldn't give a shit about it, because the emotional state of it wouldn't be there. Same with a relationship. If you didn't think the relationship was going to bring you love and security and fulfillment, then you wouldn't give a shit about the relationship. Same with the job, so on and so forth. Because it's not actually the things that we want, it's the emotion behind the thing that we are attaching to it. And we're saying that if I have this, then I'm going to feel this way. And this was literally the story of my life up until finding intentional manifestation and really going in on this inner work journey, because I always was placing my happiness and my internal circumstances on external things and saying that once I accomplish this, then I will feel happy. Once XYZ is done, then I will feel a certain way. And it leaves you in a position of feeling really powerless. Because if we are creating, and not if, we are creating our realities, then we are essentially saying to the universe that I have no power because I'm putting all of my power in this external thing. And the universe is always in this position of handing us the lessons we need in order to evolve, and are putting us into the circumstance where we have to rise up to the occasion and work through the different things that are making us feel that way in the first place, so that we can eventually get to this place of feeling fulfilled inside of ourselves, feeling safe inside of ourselves, feeling loved inside of ourselves, feeling whatever emotion it is that you desire to feel inside of yourself first, because that's how you actually magnetize whatever it is that you desire into your life. So this is a lesson that I feel as though I learned the hard way, and I've been talking about this since I started the No Bullshit Manifestation Show, and it's been a story that I've been wanting to tell, but it never felt aligned up until this episode. So I want to share the story of me making my first $100,000 and feeling more lost and sad and unfulfilled after making it than I was before that, and really help you understand that no physical circumstance or thing will ever bring you the level of fulfillment that you think it's going to. Because if you are not already fulfilled or feeling, like I've been saying, this emotion inside of yourself prior to the experience of manifesting that thing, then manifesting the thing isn't going to magically make your problems go away. It's not going to magically make you feel like you're on top of the world and that everything is better. So what happened with me is essentially, when I first started my intentional manifestation journey, just like if you've been listening to this podcast, you know, I was $70,000 in debt and I was not making enough money to essentially survive at the time. I was going more and more into debt on a weekly basis because my bills completely outweighed the amount of money that I was making at that time. So money manifestation felt really fucking important to me, and I put a lot of pressure onto it because I felt as though I couldn't feel safe and I couldn't feel secure inside of myself until I manifested the money. So I worked my fucking ass off. I hustled, I grinded, I spent 12 to 16 plus hours a day working to make more money in order to try and feel this sense of safety and security inside of myself. And through that hustled and forced energy, I did get to the position where I made my first $100,000 in a year, and I made it within 10 months of starting my business. But I got to this moment where I put so much pressure on it. I was like, this is the moment that I'm finally going to feel safe. I'm finally going to feel secure. I'm going to finally feel like I made it and I can let all of this money anxiety go. I got to that place and I felt even worse than I had prior to that, because while I had done enough inner work to manifest that amount of money in my life, I hadn't done the inner work to truly fulfill my emotional needs and to create that sense of safety, create that sense of security, create that sense of freedom inside of myself, independent of the money. And that is what I'm talking about here on this podcast, is the fact that you can manifest whatever it is. You can manifest the money, you can manifest the partner, you can manifest the job, you can manifest whatever the fuck it is. And if you do not already feel fulfillment inside of yourself, if you do not already feel the emotion that you think this experience is going to give to you, then you are going to receive that manifestation and not feel that way, because no external thing will ever bring you that level of fulfillment. I will say it over and over and over again, because this has been hands down one of the most important lessons that I have learned since starting my manifestation journey. Because what happened as a byproduct of getting to that position where I made my first $100,000 in 10 months was in that moment of feeling so fucking shitty and feeling as though I had no clue what to do, because that was supposed to be the thing that would bring me the level of safety and security that I was hoping for, it actually pushed me in the direction of going even deeper into myself and deeper into my inner world and the different trauma and conditioning that I had experienced that manifested that relationship with money in the first place and had given me the opportunity to actually heal it. So one of the things that happened during my childhood that really caused and created this relationship with money is when I was in 7th or 8th grade. My mom had inherited quite a bit of money from her father passing away. And she decided, and this was one of the first times in our lives that like we could go out and spend money in this kind of way, but she decided to take us back to school shopping, and she let us have everything that we wanted. So we spent more money than we had ever spent on back to school shopping in the past. It was so fun. It was such a special moment with my mom and my brother. And then we ended up coming back home, and we had to drive like 2.5 hours away to the closest mall because that's what my little hometown of Colorado is like. We lived in the middle of nowhere, so we had to travel 2.5 hours to go to the mall. But we traveled back home, and there was immediately this energy shift that I felt from my mom as we drove past our house. I was like, oh no, what's going on? And I was in this happy, uplifted, joyous state. And then suddenly it felt like it was shifting. And we parked in our garage, and my dad's car was there, which it normally wasn't at that time. And we walked into the house, and there was music blaring, and my dad was sitting outside drinking beer. And he told us that he had just lost his job as the executive chef of the mountain resort. And it was a moment of panic for my mom, for my dad. I didn't necessarily understand at the time because I was so young and we had just had this awesome day. And I remember in that moment not really knowing what was going to happen, but feeling incredibly scared, feeling incredibly fearful of what was to come, because my dad was the breadwinner for the family, and he was the one who paid all of the bills. And my dad stayed unemployed for years after that. And it completely changed the dynamic and the way that my parents functioned with money inside of our household. Prior to that, one of the things that my mom always said to me is like, your dad and I may fight about a lot of things, but we never fight about money. And that's something that I'm really grateful for. And suddenly money was brought to the equation, and it internally and subconsciously for me completely shifted my perception of money and the way that I felt with money, going from a position of feeling pretty secure and safe to a certain extent to feeling completely unsafe, completely unsure, and in this state of like lack of security. And through that, I developed the limiting beliefs that I always had to work hard for money, that I could never depend on anything, that I could never depend on anybody else. There was a lot of mistrust with money. There was a lot of mistrust with employers, all of the different things. And coming to this position where I had just made all of that money and realized that I had to go in even deeper to do the inner work, that was one of the biggest experiences that really shaped the reason why I felt as though I had to have a certain amount of money, that I had to have massive amounts of money to feel safe, and that without that amount of money, I wouldn't feel safe, and that there was never, honestly, enough at that point, because I had never been in the position that it felt as though there was enough money. So although it was a super challenging position to be in, to reach what I thought was going to be one of the most blissful, exciting moments of my life, and to have it actually kind of come back around and almost feel like it slapped me in the face and take me in a completely different direction of doing the inner work and doing the healing, it's been one of the most powerful and transformational parts of my manifestation journey when it comes to my relationship with money, because of the fact that it took me even deeper into these layers of understanding that truly, no matter how much money you make or how much money you have coming in on a monthly basis, how much money you have sitting in the bank account, no matter how much there is, unless you feel safe, secure, happy, fulfilled, free, rich inside of yourself, then there's not going to be an amount of money that is going to make you feel that way. There are millionaires and billionaires that feel broke as shit. And because of that mentality, most of the time, they end up sabotaging themselves because that lack mindset cannot support an abundant bank account. And so going back to what we've been talking about inside of this podcast episode is like, in order for you to actually manifest more money into your life in a long-lasting, sustainable way, it doesn't necessarily start with making more money. It starts with you shifting your relationship with money, getting into this place that you feel so fucking abundant with money, and truly getting to the root of, okay, so why am I trying to manifest this money in the first place? What emotion is it that I feel as though that I am lacking, that I need to give to myself in order to feel that way before the physical manifestation of money shows up? And I can tell you in my life, ever since I've done this and gotten super clear on the fact that all of my life, up until doing the inner work and up until where I'm at right now, that money to me was what I attached safety and security to. Being able to create internal safety for myself and create that internal security then has allowed me to manifest so much fucking money with so much ease. Because that is what manifestation is essentially is. You giving yourself that experience, you giving yourself those emotions before there's physical evidence of your manifestation coming into your life, and truly living in that place of feeling so fully okay with it or without it, because that makes you a clear channel to receive it. You're not so fully attached to the money. You're in this state of being detached. And that allows you to be this clear channel, and you're not creating the resistance that is potentially blocking you from receiving the money that you desire in your life. And this process and so much more is exactly what I teach inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy, ABA. If you haven't listened to the podcast or if you have been on the fence about ABA, this is exactly what I teach inside of ABA, is how to help you get into the state where you're clearing out all of your financial past, you're clearing out all of these limiting beliefs, all of the energetic blockages, all of the emotional blockages associated to money and to your relationship with yourself, with your parents, with the past, so that you can be this clear channel for money. You can be in this detached state where you are receiving so much more than you ever have in the past. One of my gals inside of ABA the other day, she just tripled her income and was able to cross financial independence, financial freedom off of her manifestation list. And she's only 3-4 weeks into the academy. So it's like big shifts change inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy, because you're finally getting to the internal pieces of why money has been so challenging for you in the past, and really clearing those out so you can become the clear channel to attract and receive more money with so much more fun and freedom and play than what we've been conditioned to believe, that it should be hard, that you have to work hard, that it's a struggle, XYZ, all of the stupid limiting beliefs that surround money. And this is what I would love to teach you. So if you are interested in becoming a part of the Abundant AF Babe Academy, please hit the link down below in the show notes. I only have a few spots available each month inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy to ensure that the women who are coming in get the highest level of support. And in March, which is in how many days? 13 days. When this podcast is released, I think it will be like 12 days or 11 days. But in March, the tuition for the academy is actually going up. So if you are listening to this in February of 2022 and you have been on the fence about the Abundant AF Babe Academy, you want to get in now, because imagine where you could be 3 months, 6 months, 12 months from now if you were to change this relationship that you have with money and step into the healthiest, wealthiest, most abundant version of yourself by digging into this work and letting me guide you to the position, because I've done it. I have the roadmap. I can help you get to that place. So, like I said, link down below to apply to the Abundant AF Babe Academy. If you have any questions about it, also feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram. I check and respond to all of my DMs, so definitely message me on there if you have any questions. But that is all I have for you for this episode. So if you enjoyed it, please leave me a review on iTunes or share it with somebody. If you listen to it and you love it, take a screenshot, put it on your Instagram, tag me in it. I would love to see who's listening to the podcast. I have so many incredible conversations with so many of you who listen to the podcast, and it just brightens up my life so much having these conversations with you and hearing how this podcast is making a positive impact in your life. So if you continue to do that, I will continue to show up here and give you all of the good. But with that being said, I will chat with you on the next episode. I love you so much, and I hope you have an incredible day. Oh my gosh, thank you for listening to today's episode. I am so grateful to have these no bullshit talks with you. If you enjoyed today's episode or the podcast as a whole, please spread the love by leaving me a review on iTunes or sharing the podcast with others. This is how I will be able to spread more of these good vibes and be able to make more of an impact on the lives of others. And if you're not already part of all of the goodness and communities that I have to offer, check out the show notes. I have links to the different ways that I can support you on your manifestation journey and help you live a life full of more money, fulfillment, and freedom. But that is all for now. So big love and hugs, and I will chat with you soon, babe.